It's a snow day. I have my coffee. I'm ready to go. So here recording a video for just a reflection on our peer observation. So I'm going to talk about a couple different observations that I've had. The first one is with Mr. Voss in fourth grade. I thought it was good to observe someone that was in our grade level and kind of teaching some of the same things that I teach. So observing him and when we're thinking about student engagement. Um, there were a lot of things that stuck out to me as I observed him. He was doing a literacy lesson with in reading and doing some conferencing with kids and also some share time. And that it's interesting because there is a lot of noise in the room during the time that I was there, which sometimes can bother me personally, just in my own teaching. Sometimes I'm a quiet worker, so when there's a lot of noise, sometimes that can be distracting. But one thing that I noticed was um, during his class and during that time, the noise level was up, but the conversations were centered around what they were doing. They were working on a reading lesson and having discussion time. And Mr. Voss was engaged with the students during that discussion time. He was working with them, talking to them, discussing each topic of the lesson and what they were reading about when he was conferencing with kids. And he was able to visit a lot of different kids. And the nice thing is the students really felt like um, I think the thing that really stuck out to me was the students really felt like they could talk openly with him, and there seemed to be like a comfort level with those students that they had where they were used to having discussions with Mr. Voss about just different parts of learning, and they were just totally engaged in conversation with each other. And it was interesting because there was very minimal students as far as being off task. Most of them were talking and engaged with one another, and then Mr. Voss had one-on-one time with students, and I think that's one of the big benefits of what our curriculum does in reading and readers workshop is it gives students a voice and gives them opportunity to really feel like they can talk to us and we care about them and we want to get to know them. Students really love that one-on-one time, and I've experienced that in my own class. With students who, if we have some time where it's like, hey, we haven't conferenced for a while because of other things that are going on. I have students that raise their hand and say, hey, Mr. Anderson, when are we gonna get back to conferencing? When are we gonna have our small group time at the back table? And the thing that I realized with Mr. Voss was his students just felt comfortable and they were engaged in what was going on in the room in learning. Towards the end of the lesson, I was still in there. They switched and actually started checking some of our mountain language. And I thought, okay, we're shifting away from this readers workshop, this share time, to kind of just a routine skill or a routine time of the day where they were just checking mountain language. The interesting thing to me, which is very different than my teaching, is that conversation and that teaching didn't really stop just because of they were switching to kind of just a routine activity. He gave every student, not every student, but he gave a number of different students to share what they had done on mountain language. So like if they had to write a sentence with a prepositional phrase, he let 5 to 6 students share what they wrote. Which for me, I'm looking at that and going, one person's got an example, and hey, we're moving on, because I'm thinking a lot of times about getting through things quickly and things like that. But it was interesting because to me, what stuck out was the students felt connected. They felt like they had a voice in the classroom, and a lot of what this module is all about for this domain too is keeping students engaged and helping them feel connected. And that's such an important battle for us. And it's just something. Those are very simple things that I saw while I was in there, but it kind of makes me take a step back and go, hey, that's something that I can take more time to do, give students more of an opportunity to have a connection with me and give them opportunity for that. So I will, baby. Give me just a second. You want to say hi?
No.
She doesn't want to say hi. So I guess I'm going to sign off. Maybe I'll submit another one.